The Xolo Era 2V is a dual SIM 4G enabled entry-level smartphone that comes with some really decent specifications and features to ensure that even your basic smartphone requirement can be met. The Era 2V, it features a 13 megapixel camera at the back with LED flash and a fingerprint scanner for increased security. Now, something that we've been used to in just flagship devices. Even the design and the finish of the product is such that it looks nothing less than a mid-range smartphone at the very least. Now, from a specifications point of view, the Era 2V features a 1.25 GHz Mediatek quad-core processor backed with 2 GB of RAM, running Android 7.0, and it features a 5-inch display with 720p resolution. It's got an internal storage of 16 GB of RAM, and again, it supports 4G, it's dual SIM, expandable storage, and removable 3000 mAh battery. Something that's really good about the Era 2V is its beautifully ergonomic structure, weight, and overall ease of use. The phone easily fits in one hand, allows for easy one-hand use, and it's not bulky, plus it gives you a really good grip. At the back you have a nice matte finish non-reflective rear battery door, which gives you a very soft and grippy feel. It doesn't feel cheap or flimsy at all. And the matte finish ensures that the rear panel does not attract any finger smudges whatsoever, which I think is a huge relief. In the front you have an 8 megapixel camera, which is just about decent enough to take selfies and video calls. However, you will need good lighting for this to work enough for you. At the bottom you've got a micro USB port, you've got, it looks like stereo speakers, but I think it's just mono speakers. I really like the rim, which it's plasticky, but it doesn't really look that bad at all. At the top you've got a 3.5mm headphone jack, and if you look at the rim around, the volume rocker is on the right edge along with the power button. It's a little different because I'm usually used to having volume rockers on the left edge, whereas in this case the left edge is absolutely smooth. Now at the back you've got a removable battery door, and which means a removable battery, right? So you've got a 3000 mAh battery, and given that it's got a 1.25 GHz quad-core processor and a small display, a smaller display than most phones, this battery is going to last you the entire day without any issues. You've got a SIM card slot right there, which is basically SIM 1. You've got your microSD storage, which is right on the left side, 32 GB, and then you've got SIM card 2 as well. So, I mean, you've got a dual SIM. You can have both the SIMs inserted, and you can have a microSD storage. Even the best of phones have a hybrid slot in which you can only use one SIM and one storage card, or you can use 2 SIM cards. So this is really good. Now let's dive into the phone. You've got Android 7.0, and you've got a bunch of preloaded apps that come into the smartphone. And of course, you can go ahead and install as many as you like. But again, it's just got 16 GB internal storage, so you've got to be a little careful. Now let's talk a little about the display. It's a 5-inch display with a resolution of 720 pixels by 1280 pixels. Okay, it looks like an LCD or an IPS screen. I don't really have information about that, but I think that's what it is. And it's a basic phone, but it still seems to be fairly bright to me. In fact, I'm just at half brightness right now, and I can go all the way to its max, and you can see that the screen is a little overexposed now. So definitely outdoors, when bright sunlight is there, you're not going to have too many issues with the display. Talking about the performance real quick, it's a 1.25 GHz quad-core processor powered smartphone and 2 GB of RAM, right? So definitely on the lower side, but again, it's an entry-level smartphone just at about 6,000 rupees, and I think for that it offers a fairly decent smartphone experience. It's not slow by any standards, but yes, you can't really compare it to one of those really high-end smartphones or even mid-range smartphones that have octa-core processing power and 4 GB or 6 GB of RAM. It's also got fingerprint unlock, which I think is super for an entry-level smartphone, and of course you've got Google Assistants and whatnot. Let's also quickly touch upon the camera real quick. You've got a 13 megapixel sensor at the back with an LED flash, right? Now, so it's really quick for an entry-level smartphone, I believe. I'm pressing the shutter key and it almost immediately, there's hardly a half a second lag, and it takes a picture. You've got panorama mode, you've got beauty, and you've got an access to gallery right there. And then you've also got shortcuts to quickly turn off HDR mode, so you can toggle between that. You can toggle your flash light, and you can obviously turn around to your selfie mode. In terms of settings, you can set up whether you want to tag, you can change color modes, which are basically your filters in a way, adjust your white balance. You can enable anti-shake, face detection, gesture shot. You can have continuous shot as well. You can change your picture size. You can go down if you need to make more space, and and you can also configure your volume keys to either zoom into a scenario, or to take a picture or start recording a video if you're in video mode. Within video, if you see, you've got video quality that you can change. You can go for a low one if you want to shoot some low resolution, less weight videos. But what I would essentially always do is keep my video quality to high, so to fine, and EIS, which is electronic image stabilization, on, just so that it removes some shake while recording videos. So that's it, guys. I think overall the device for an entry-level smartphone is fairly decent. It'll pretty much do everything that a smartphone needs to do. You can watch your videos, you can listen to songs, and you can of course install all your social media apps and go for it all the way. So if you have any questions, do leave me in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, guys. See you soon.